because
Okay. Can you talk now so I can hear you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. And you can hear me, right?
I can hear you great.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so can we do TOC first and
Yeah.
then Top Chef? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Should we just do
Um,
one episode?
do
I
you think
kind of,
that's better?
yeah, I think it's like,
Okay.
I think what we should do is just say to people, like, this is the TOC part, and
Okay.
we'll
We'll say like
mark
fast forward
the,
halfway or whatever for
yeah.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
a good idea. Um, be more natural that way.
Yeah. And I don't want to break up listens.
I know. Well, I mean, I think actually we're getting twice as many listens. So,
Oh,
but
really? Okay.
still, yeah. But still, I mean, it's just yeah, it makes sense. We'll just get twice as many. Well, maybe not twice as many, but we'll get. Yeah, we have over 500 this month, and our biggest month so far has been like 340, and we still have I mean, one more episode coming out this month. So yeah, we did huge this month,
Yeah.
but we only did 1 week of the two. So I think
Yeah.
going back to just hold on one second. Okay, hello. Okay, sorry. Okay, so yeah, okay, we'll just do one, and we'll say okay, cool, and we'll let Leaf know. That makes more. I think it is more natural to just do one. Okay, so let's start. But we will still. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I gotta get to my show notes, which have this up. Um, okay, so hello and welcome to Moms of Flavor Town. Oh no, Debbie, your mic cut out again. Hello. Now your red light went off, so that's probably good.
How does this sound?
Now it sounds good. So
Okay.
your mic has like a light on the top,
Yeah.
and it's like green now. And before it, like when I couldn't hear you, it went red. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
that's why I could. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Starting again. Hello and welcome to Moms of Flavor Town.
Pew, 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 pew.
I am Rachel,
I am Debbie.
and here we are for another episode. Debbie and I were just talking before we turn on the mics, and we're going to go back to doing one episode. So this episode will be TOC and also Top Chef. And if you only want to hear one, like fast forward like halfway through the episode for Top Chef,
Yeah.
if that's what you want to hear. But we're going to do them both at once
And you should
because
listen to both because they're both great shows. So,
I know, and they both include all kinds of people that we know from all over food TV. So
yes.
if you're a true food head, then keep watching, keep listening. Debbie, how's your week?
Um, it's a little disastrous. I went to the hospital on Saturday night.
Oh yeah.
Um,
So Debbie texted me that she's going to the ER. And then I was like, let me know what happened. And then like 12 hours later, I was like, are you okay?
well, the funny thing is, like, my phone died because I was just like scrolling. So I got really super dizzy, but I was also like having a sinus issue, and the like every urgent care was like, you should go to the hospital. You should go to the hospital. And John was like, you should go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and the lovely people of LIJ Forest Hills treated me so well. There's actually it was really funny because there was the doctor who treated me. He was like, around our age, but probably like 10 years younger. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah. And very clearly gay. And we were just like pinging off of each other of like our dialogue. Like it was just,
Mm.
and but it was really funny because I was like trying to impress this ER doctor, like
Oh,
to be my friend.
every time. Something
Like,
about that relationship, it's like the caregiver relationship. You just like feel so intimate that you like
yeah,
feel like you should get along or something.
right, exactly.
It's
At
very
one point,
strange.
he's like, because he saw my tattoos and I think, or, just my general vibe. And he was like, yeah, this is a really boring Saturday night, huh? And I was like, actually, I would be at home with my kids right now. So
So, how late were you there?
I got home at like 1 a.m.
Okay, so not terrible, not that bad.
No, no, no. 7 to 7. I got there around like 7-ish. And
I
yeah.
mean, that's depressing, right? That we're like 1 a.m. getting out of the hospital. Not that bad. That's
Yeah,
the
for
state
like
of, yeah.
a little, so it turns out my sinus pressure knocked my eardrums. So if you ever get dizzy and you have sinus pressure, it's probably okay. It's just vertigo.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. But yeah, I was in that thing where like I was like, how long should I wait before I text John?
Yeah.
And like I knew that you were there late, so I was like, she's probably just sleeping in because she was sick. She's probably fine.
Yeah.
But I was right on the edge of texting your husband and being like,
Well, it's funny because Heidi actually texted John when she
oh,
didn't,
okay.
our friend Heidi, and then she texted me again saying like, "Oh, I heard from John. I know you're okay. I'm glad." And then like I just forgot to like text her back because she was like, "Oh, she already knows." Like,
Yeah. Oh,
so
so I have slightly more chill than Heidi, which is which
all the
is good
type
to know.
A's in my life.
I
Uh,
know. And then our other friends texted, like, Debbie, are you okay? And I was like, I already talked to her. I got the report. But yeah, so things are fine with me, I'd say. Nothing real to report right now,
well, that's
except
good.
I know, except so should we talk about a little bit of Flavortown news?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have two pieces of Flavortown news. One relates to TOC, and this is where me and Debbie really go deep into the journalism because all over the internet, people were mad at Guy Fieri, right? As they do,
Yeah.
because he called Chris Scott Dr. Chocolate, and people
Mhm.
thought that was very racist. Debbie and I said in our recap that if Guy chose it, yes, racist. But we thought that maybe Chris Scott chose it. So we sent him a DM on the Moms of Flavortown. And I want everyone to know that Chris Scott is like the loveliest human being.
Ugh,
Listen to his interview with us. And he loves to interact with fans as long as you're nice.
yeah.
He actually told me that he doesn't like to post publicly a lot because he doesn't want haters getting at him, which
Fair.
relatable. Which I mean, Debbie does want the haters getting at
Yeah,
her,
we can talk about that later.
oh yeah, well, that's another piece of Flavortown news. So I DM'd him just to confirm, and I asked him like, so like, did you choose your nickname or did Guy? And he told me that he did choose the nickname, and not only did he choose it, but Dr. Chocolate was one of his nicknames from when he was working pastry. And here are some other nicknames he listed out for me: Brulee, Dr. Chocolate,
Mhm.
the creamy brown butter, and my favorite of the bunch, Reverend Sweets.
I do Reverend Sweets. I actually like. I think love the most, but
I know. I guess he couldn't do that on TSC probably because he's not doing pastry. Like
yeah,
Dr. Chocolate is a more like all purpose, whereas Reverend Sweets, you got to be doing pastry for
yeah.
that. So there you have it, folks. That Chris Scott chose his own nicknames, and he is a man of many impressive names.
And
So
you know what I love? Like now with that we're knowing that he picked a lot of that guy, or that people pick their own nicknames. Like we're gonna get into it, but Martini Nini is such a good.
yes.
It comes right off the tongue. Good
Well,
job.
and we'll get into it when we do the TOC recap in just a minute.
Yeah.
But there's good ones, and there's also ones that are not so good
Yeah.
that people chose themselves.
Like mustache, whatever his, I can't even like remember. It's like my body like refuses to acknowledge
I think it's
or
just
it retain.
Mustache Joe,
Yeah,
right? Is it?
mustache.
It's
All
like a
right, Guy.
shoeless Joe from Hannibal Moe, you
Yeah,
know?
but mustache Joe just is like, okay, your mustache is your entire personality. What is going
I
on?
know, Debbie. We talked about this a lot in our. It's gonna be okay. So we'll talk more about the nicknames later when we go into the TSC recap.
Yeah.
But the next thing is this maybe I'll let Debbie take the lead on this one. It is a thing that went viral on Twitter, and Debbie
Yeah.
texted it to me like last night, and I was like, I'm not at my computer. Please email it to me. Between when I got her email and like when I like read it the next day, this had already been all over my algorithm. Debbie,
So,
take it away.
yeah. So, okay. So, first of all, I will, like, I'm with the Titanic of Twitter. Like, I will go down with it. It's still my favorite app for moments exactly like this.
Yes, Twitter does it better. Yes.
And so I don't know. I'm sure some of you have seen it. Maybe some of you haven't, but there was some influencer guy who posted his morning routine, and it's the most silliest morning routine and the silliest video. Not on purpose. Maybe on purpose. I literally have no idea. I can't tell anymore
I mean, he
sometimes.
seems pretty serious, this guy.
Yeah,
He seems like he
he
takes
was very
himself extremely
earnest.
seriously.
Yeah.
Yes.
So part of his routine is he takes Saratoga Spring bottled uh fizzy water and he dunks his head in it.
He pours it into a bowl of ice and he
Yeah.
dumps his and but also the whole video is obviously has like a Saratoga sponsorship because there's a Saratoga bottle in every shot of the
Yeah.
video. It's
Yeah, yeah.
just like he's like, 4:45 a.m. and he's eating, his protein shake with a bottle of Saratoga next to him or whatever.
Right. And it's just like so funny. First of all, because it's Top Chef season, and they're obviously like one of the oldest uh, advertisers on Top Chef, which is actually pretty cool. But it's just like so funny that people think that this is. I don't know. Like, are they trying to say like this is good editing, and we would, we're media savvy, so we recognize it, but other people might not recognize it or something, or
You
they're
mean the
just like,
Saratoga Spring think it's
yeah,
good or not? I think the Saratoga Springs know is trying to get their hands in as many pies,
yeah.
And I just think that like they also, did you see Saratoga Springs like went full in on like the virality of it? And like they posted like an ad on their Instagram that was just like a bowl of ice and a Saratoga Spring
Oh,
next to
really?
it. Yeah, like Saratoga Spring is in on the joke now. I don't
Okay.
know if like they just got on it after or if they were like ready for this or
Yeah.
whatever. But also like this reminds me of what we were talking about with like Gabby and her announcement, and then the Traders finale. Uh,
Hmm.
is that like all this stuff happening at once, right? Top Chef is in season right now. This
Yeah.
thing goes so viral. Saratoga Spring has their thing ready. And then I saw other people being like, oh, like Saratoga Springs has like this huge display at the grocery store right now, and they didn't have it last week. Isn't it funny how everything's so
Hmm.
viral? And I wonder if Saratoga Spring is trying to do some crazy viral moment to go along with Top Chef.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I don't know if it's along with Top Chef. I just think it's like, oh, it's in every at the top of everyone's head because they got the Top Chef audience, they
Yes.
got the like workout audience, they got the grocery shopping because that
Yeah.
guy it was a like clearly worked out a lot. Like that was his whole thing. I also want to point out, did you see the part where he smears the banana peel on his face?
Yes. The whole thing is wild. That's like part of his routine, right? It's like the and he
Yeah, he
also
eats a banana and then he smears the peel on his
well,
face.
and it also starts out with the tape on his mouth, which is like
Yeah.
that weird like like wellness trend where you sleep with tape on your mouth.
Yeah.
And the part of the video where it's like he jumps in the pool and there's like supposed to be a 4 minute lag between when he jumps in and when he and also his morning starts like before 4 a.m. So when does he go to sleep? That's my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, if you're going to sleep at 6 o'clock, dude, like, what kind of life is that?
I know. Like
If
I
you're doing
love to
that on
wake up
purpose.
early. Yeah. I love to wake up early,
Yeah.
first of all. Like
But 3:45 a.m.
yeah, no.
Um,
But it does seem
also,
like a nice life. He has like he goes to a nice pool in the morning.
yeah, like his apartment is fancy.
Yes.
Um, but the funny thing too is like, oh, where he goes, okay, we need to get $10,000. Like they just showed him like a clip of his work life, and it's just him sitting at a desk saying
Oh, I
on
did
the
not
phone
read
saying,
that clip.
we need to get $10,000."
Well, Debbie, that's funny because that's what we've been saying every episode, right?
That's
Is that
true.
we need
We
to
do
get
need to get $10,000.
So please, we were asking last time if just 10 of you send us $1,000, that would be great. And we also specifically asked Hunter Fieri just to send us the whole 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or tag Saratoga Springs on
Oh,
comments on our Instagram profile. Maybe they will
yeah,
sponsor
Saratoga
us.
Springs. We love water. We're famously New York Jews. We
Yeah.
love fizzy water.
Yeah.
Um, okay, well, I think that we should get to talking about TOC. What do you say, Debbie?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so we are here to recap TOC 6, episode 4. And first of all, loves this episode mostly. My bracket did better this episode than any other.
Uh-huh.
I 3 of the 4 battles came out the way that I said on my bracket, but one of them honestly was a little heartbreaking to me.
Um, okay, can I tell you something embarrassing?
Oh my God, did you not watch the episode?
No, I watched up until the last 5 minutes and I fell asleep. So I don't know who won the last battle.
Okay. Well, now you know because I'm telling you I was sad about it.
Yeah.
So let's go through the episode
Sure.
then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So tonight they say there's the final of the first round, which is awesome because the first round lasts so long in TOC,
Yeah.
and I can't believe we're still in it.
Yeah.
But this episode I was so excited for because listen to this lineup. Amanda Freitag, Carlos Anthony, Dale Talday, Debbie's friend, Sarah Bradley, me and Debbie's
Our friends. Yeah. And Carlos Anthony, our friend.
Oh, Carlos Anthony, our friend. Sorry. I just for people that don't know, Debbie met Dale Talday randomly at like a museum in New York, and he took her photo without knowing that she does a food TV podcast. That's the lore behind that. But Carlos and Sarah we've interviewed. We'll listen to the interviews. They're great.
Yeah.
Claudette Zepeda, Nini Wynn, famously Debbie's hall pass in her marriage.
That whole battle was so hot. Like,
I know. And Nini talked about it. It was like, and Tobias Dorsen, who we love, and David Viana. So this was stacked. This was like a really big episode. I was very excited. I was like, I can't believe this many good people are left the last episode of the first round.
Yeah.
So the chefs walk in looking great, and Guy says they saved the best for last, which I think is kind of true. I mean, there's great people in all the rounds, but this was a really good episode.
Yeah.
He goes over the winners of the last round: Joe Sasso, sorry Debbie, Leanne Wong, Jonathan Sawyer, Jet Tila.
And he said, of course it was Joe Sasto. And I was like, no, not of course. Like,
I know. And also people love Fabio. You can see all the chefs were like, oh, Fabio. Like they like to hear his name,
He's delightful.
So first up is Carlos Anthony and Amanda Freitag. Carlitos versus Chef AF. And Amanda and Carlos are both super pumped. When Carlos is walking in, like during his walk-in music, he's doing like a vampire face. He's like he looks like, he's like one of the Twilight style, vampires, but like a little more San Diego style.
Yeah.
Well, he moved to the Pacific Northwest, and in Twilight, they lived in the Pacific Northwest because not a lot of sunlight. So, Carlos, is that what you're hiding from us?
Oh, ooh. Ask him.
He got married, just like Edward and Bella did. It goes on and on. And Guy says, which I did not know, that Amanda Freitag is the only judge to judge every season of Chopped, which is 54 seasons.
That's so crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Because I feel like most of them have been there like from the beginning, but I guess they haven't all been on every single season.
Yeah.
That is 54 seasons of anything is crazy. That's so much.
This is what I like about Amanda because she knows a good thing and she like stays with it, That's always, I feel like that's like her kind of thing. She's just like a very practical and pragmatic person.
I mean, if that was my job, I'd be so happy to judge.
Right?
Josh,
oh my
to
God.
hang out with all
I would
people.
literally do nothing else.
I know. It's amazing. It's got to pay well. I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
So the randomizer is country style pork ribs, jalapenos, stand mixer, battered, and cinnamon sticks. What did you think about this randomizer?
So let me ask you, did you think this randomizer episode was really easy? I think it was really easy.
Yeah, I think so mostly. But it's still okay, so one thing I think is interesting is an easy randomizer doesn't mean that everyone does well.
Oh, of course.
So that's why it's interesting because sometimes I feel like the harder randomizers can really kind of like narrow it down a little bit and people even do better.
Yeah.
But I agree. Some of them seemed easy.
Yeah.
So Tiffany is with Carlos and she's wearing like a dressy hoodie this time.
John was like, did she come over after going to Equinox? Like, what was like...
Yeah, because she's wearing like the 90s cami again, but wearing like a hoodie that was obviously probably like a $700 hoodie, but it was like definitely a hoodie. And Carlos is doing mole and he says it's risky, which we do know about mole.
Yeah.
And mole is one of those things where like Carlos, I know he is like, like has like those roots and he is like from that part of the world. But mole is one of those things that I feel like chefs do on cooking shows when they get something like cinnamon that usually
Yeah.
I'm like roll my eyes at because like
Right.
usually it's like like that's something that like Aaron Sanchez on Chopped will be like this is not a mole.
Right.
Like
Right.
just because you put chocolate in a sauce is not a mole or whatever.
Right. But I did have faith in Carlos for this because
Yes.
like yeah, that's exactly it. I did not, I thought he would be able to pull it off.
Yeah, like he does not take it lightly,
No.
And I mean, he did pull it off, obviously.
Yeah.
Amanda is doing a cinnamon glazed pork rib steak with battered and fried jalapenos. I love a jalapeno popper. I do not
Me
like spicy food, but I will
too.
eat it. Yeah.
Yeah. And fried jalapenos in general, like there was this fish restaurant in Chicago that I used to go to all the time, and they would fry pieces of jalapeno, lemon, and onions. Like just stick them in the fryer and give you a basket of that, and it was
Ooh.
so delicious. Oh,
See, I could probably eat that because like fried foods, you generally have some kind of dipping sauce that's like not very spicy. So like if I
yeah,
had ranch or something, I could definitely handle it.
yeah,
So Carlos is doing a beer battered meatball with Oaxacan cheese. And I wasn't sure about this because beer battered meatball like sounds really heavy.
yeah.
So like you have to be careful with that. But
Hmm.
like
And then
obviously it
in a
works out.
mole sauce, you know.
Yes,
So that's
totally.
yeah,
Tiffany says that Carlos Anthony is a young gun. And I was wondering, like, is he really? I feel like a lot of people are like his age. Like he's not very young.
yeah. He's like in his 30s, right?
Yeah, so I wonder, like, I would love to see the actual difference in age between Tiffany and Carlos Anthony, or of like she just is like kind of like being a little bit like sassy about it,
Yeah,
like
because I feel
in
like she's
my
like
day.
about our age, you know?
Yeah, I don't think that she's that much older than us. And I mean, I guess she's been doing cooking competitions longer than Carlos, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I would
But so is
consider her.
Alon, and I went to high school with him. It's not
Yeah.
like, you know.
Well, I always think of that. What's the Master Shake quote where it's like, I am 30 or 40 years old and I don't need that's how life is right now.
Yes, exactly.
I'm 30 or 40 years old.
Yeah.
Uh, Justin is with Amanda Freitag, and I was talking to her. Car- Carlos puts fresh and charred jalapeno directly into his grinder with the meat, which I thought was very
Brilliant.
smart. Yeah. And Carlos talks about how he's scared of Amanda because how she experienced she is. And he does look very scared.
Yeah. This
So
was
the
like a really sweet matchup. I like I love both of them, but it was like very kind of sweet. Like he clearly respects her. She clearly respects him. Like it was very and you could see that throughout the battle, you know?
Yes, they respect each other, but yeah, and like they weren't. It was like they were out to beat each other, but not in like a mean way. In a,
Right.
in a in a friendly competition way. So for judging, it's Marcus Samuelson, Nancy Silverton, and Charlie Palmer.
Charlie Palmer did not wear a hat, and I was like, so like he's so not a team player. I've from everything that I've heard.
I know, well, he's there to be like the non-Food Network one, right? Like
Right.
Marcus Samuelson and Nancy Silverton are like cast members at this point,
Yeah.
and then they need to get someone who's like, ooh, fancy restaurateur or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the shots where they were with like the judges area and it was Simon, Marcus, and Nancy, it was literally art. It was
Yeah.
like they looked
Art,
like
the hats, the colors,
I
the
know it looked like they were like costume design, but that's just how the three of them dress.
yeah.
Like they look coordinated. It was so good. So Justin reached for Amanda. Marcus says it's really good cooking. Nancy said there's nothing wrong with this dish. The flavors go together so well, but she doesn't think that Amanda used enough of the attachments on the stand mixer. And Charlie says it's cooked perfectly, but the batter is clunky, but it's a great presentation. So they love it.
Yeah.
You would think that'd be hard to beat until Tiffany reads for Carlos. Nancy says this chef cheated, and she's speechless. Charlie says it's not easy to do and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And Marcus says the meatball is crisp when you bite into it, but the dish is kind of heavy, which we talked about.
Yeah.
But it ends up being 87 to 85. Carlos Anthony wins, which is a big upset.
A big upset, but we're so proud of our boy.
I know. We love Carlos Anthony. I put him as beating Amanda on my bracket just because like he's so in it.
Yeah.
And Amanda was not there last year, right? So she's out of practice.
Yeah.
And we love Amanda too. And like I think that like she could have beat someone else, but Carlos is on fire, so he won.
Yeah.
And
Um, Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Hunter hugs Carlos and says, "Big dog."
So as soon as that happens, John goes, hair slicked back. Favorite New
You think that
Year's.
Hunter and Carlos Anthony could be in the Dangerous Knights crew together?
They are definitely the Dangerous Knights crew. You know it.
Well, Carlos used to be a piece of shit, but
Yeah.
Hunter. Yeah, big dog, which is just such a funny thing to say. But good job, Hunter. We
Yeah.
we see you trying back there. Next up is Sarah Bradley and Dale Talday. Sarah is our girl, as you
Yeah.
know. I mean, I just like she to me is one of my favorite people ever on food TV. I just think
Yeah.
she's so fun to watch. She's
Yeah.
so good, and she's like so like as she said later, she's like chill about it. Like she's not there being like, I'm gonna kick your ass. She just
Right.
like knows she's good at cooking.
Yeah.
She says she's very strategic. And Dale is wearing huge gold chains and no apron. He's wearing a black t-shirt and
Yeah.
like black pants and no apron, which like I don't know why. It was a
Yeah.
weird look.
Yeah.
Uh, Sarah is introduced as the Queen of Paducah, and Guy says everyone is scared of her, which I
Yeah.
think is great.
Yeah.
And Dale is the boogeyman. And I know this is his name last year. Now that I know that the people choose their own name, we have to ask Dale why he's the like. Why would you?
Yeah. Why
choose
the
that?
boogeyman? But I kind of like, I mean, if you're competing, you want to do like sometimes you want to do like a threatening.
Yeah, but why? Does it mean anything to him, or do you just think of something scary? That's what I
Yeah.
want to know. Is like if
Yeah.
it means something because everyone else's names mean something.
Yeah.
So the randomizer is Denver steak, turnips, V-blade mandolin, chard, and prepared horseradish. And this is the one that like I feel like sounds really easy, but the
Yeah.
scores were kind of lower in this one because I think it was like almost like too easy. There's too many
Right.
directions you can go. Dale says he's gonna do Korean barbecue. Sarah says she loves turnips and she loves chard. And she says that chard, turnips, and horseradish can all be bitter. And I was like, of course, horseradish can be bitter. Have you ever heard of a bitter herb? Oh no, Debbie, I can't hear you again.
Yeah. She's like part of the tribe, like she knows her way around some horseradish.
Yes,
Be real.
exactly. So then Tiffany's reading for Sarah. Sarah is doing a turnip puree with horseradish. And Dale is slicing turnips to pickle and like wrap the Korean barbecue in. And we went out for Korean barbecue kind of recently, and we did that. And like not with the turnips, it's usually with a radish, right? And it was so good.
Yeah.
So that sounded great. And Sarah's using urfa on her steak,
I
which I
love
did not know
pepper.
about. Okay, you have it?
Oh yeah, we have it. So it is delicious. It's not a spicy pepper at all. It really just tastes like a smoky raisin.
Oh, cool, awesome!
Yeah.
I would love to try it. It sounds
Yeah.
great.
Delicious.
And Sarah and Dale are both using turnip tops in a sauce. Dale sautés his turnip greens in kimchi butter, and Justin is worried that the flavors might be too bold.
I was gonna say, the moment I saw him pouring the kimchi juice in the butter, I was like, he's using too much kimchi.
Yeah,
Like,
he should have just poured in some horseradish juice in there.
yeah,
But the one thing that we noticed, which has happened in every episode, is when Justin like talks directly to camera, he's usually right.
yeah,
Like whatever he says is like usually what happens.
yeah,
And that's what Justin like knows this game, right? He
yeah.
can see it coming. Um, and Sarah talks about looking up at the banners on the wall of the previous champions, and she said the ladies with the belts, and how like she wants to be one of those people. And I love that description. I love
Yeah.
these ladies with the belts.
With the belts, and she's gonna be up there soon.
I know. I mean, I really after this, I was like, I really hope she wins.
Yeah.
But also Antonia. We still stand. We stand all of our queens.
Right.
Just not. There's some people that I do not want to watch.
Yeah.
So and they for judging, Justin reached for Dale. Nancy says she loves eating with a wrap. Marcus says he loves the double char, but the kimchi challenges the horseradish too much, like Justin said. And Charlie says the steak needs more flavor. Then Tiffany reads for Sarah. Charlie says it has a lot more horseradish and it's a good combo with the turnip. Nancy loves the char. Marcus says it's stunning to look at and delicious to eat. But they're not too psyched about either dish. and
Yeah.
it's 76-72. So Sarah wins by a good margin, but they're pretty low scores for TOC.
But I would have eaten, I would have had both of those dishes. Totally.
Yes. I mean, we should really go to one of Dale's restaurants for sure.
Yeah.
Because there's like a few around, I think. Doesn't he have
Yeah.
like one in Westchester and one in the city and maybe one in Jersey too? So we
Yeah.
should go.
Cool.
Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go and say, take our picture, Dale, like we did to Debbie before. And Dale's talking, and he's like, the crazy thing is, I love horseradish. So he's kind of kicking himself for doing the kimchi.
Yeah.
And Sarah tells Hunter that the reason she's so calm is because she's a mom.
Yep.
And I love that about Sarah consistently is she always like brings up like her like, the fact that she's a mom as like a strength, not a weakness, and like she doesn't apologize for being a mom as a chef. She's like, it makes me better.
Yeah.
And if you
I
want to
mean,
listen
it's
to,
so, what? Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say if you want to hear more of that, listen to our interview we did with her
Yes,
last year.
exactly. I mean, but that's the whole thing. Like, I do feel like I can handle craziness more now that I'm a mom.
Yes, in a different way. It's like
Yeah.
the things that overwhelm you are different
Yeah.
because you are like been through like a lot of weird shit
Yeah.
already.
Exactly.
So next is Nini Wynn versus Claudette Zepeda.
Both hotties.
Yes, they both have such good accessories and nail art. Like they
Mhm.
definitely have like a similar vibe in the way they like present themselves as a chef,
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
like they look great. They do not apologize for their femininity and like their creativity. I love them.
Yeah.
And Nini's apron is so good. It's like a jumper dress.
Yeah.
It's a very like fashionable apron. It looks very cool. And when Martini Nini enters, they play like New Orleans style horns as she's walking in.
Which is fantastic.
And then Claudette is La Jefa, which is a great nickname.
Yeah. I was saying the same thing. What a great nickname.
So the randomizer is turkey breast, radicchio, double boiler pan, citrusy, and cantaloupe. And I thought this one was hard because turkey
Yeah.
breast is hard to cook. And to me, it can't. I know people love cantaloupe. To me, it's like disgusting.
Yeah. Cantaloupe is I'll eat it, but it's my least favorite of the melons.
I do not like cantaloupe or honeydew.
Yeah.
It's like I just don't like that melony taste or whatever. I
Mm.
love a watermelon, but I can't eat those melons. So Nini is doing a turkey cutlet with radicchio citrus salad, and Claudette is doing turkey carnitas with cantaloupe pipian. And she's like cooking her turkey with lard to make it into carnitas. And I feel like that her dish, like fully realized at a restaurant, would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Claudette's. Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
It just, she did not have enough time to do it. And Nini is doing this really cool thing of a cantaloupe lemon curd sabayon. Uh,
I was like, I kept trying to taste it in my mouth when I was watching, and I really just like wish I could just like have a scoop.
See, I think I would like it because I think there would be enough lemon for the cantaloupe to not like be weird to me if there's like
Yeah.
enough lemon in it. And this is a great example of like letting the randomizer guide you to something super creative rather
Yeah.
than just being like, I'm just gonna boil some water in this pan or whatever,
Right.
Like she like used the double boiler for something that you would actually use it for, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and Guy asked Justin if it's a good idea to use the double boiler for that, and Justin said it's abso-freaking-lutely good.
And
Which,
first curd of TOC.
oh yes, yeah, and Justin loves that kind of thing. If you do some kind of technique, Justin's gonna be all over that shit.
Totally.
And Claudette is making like the pipian, which is like a green mole. And Carlos, sitting in the wafer lounge, says it's mole night. And Claudette's like actually from Mexico, so
Yeah.
uh,
And it's so funny, like watching Carlos in the lounge, he's like clearly nervous for who, like he knows he's
yes,
going against whoever, and like watching them compete was really interesting.
yeah, he was sizing him up for sure. And Nini says that she's jealous of Claudette's style, which is like recognized game.
Yeah, exactly.
And Claudette has to put her carnitas in the deep fryer, and she's not happy. Like she knows the turkey carnitas did not turn out how she wanted it to.
Right.
So for the judging, Justin reads for Nini. Nancy says they made it work. There's gorgeous colors that match Marcus's outfit. That's
Yeah.
cool that the plate matched Marcus's outfit. And she wants more sabayon. Charlie says he loves the balance of the dish. He's impressed with the crispiness, and he says it's weird, but he likes it. And Marcus says it makes him happy, and the salad is incredible. Then Tiffany reads for Claudette. Nancy says the radicchio is the star of the plate. Charlie says the turkey is overcooked. And Marcus says the radicchio is ridiculous and there's lots of positives. So they really liked both of them. But I
Yeah.
think on TOC, it's really hard to come back from a badly cooked protein.
Yeah. But I was surprised. I'll let you say the scores, but
So it was 79 to 86. So it's a big difference in scores.
yeah.
And Nini wins.
Yeah. But I was surprised Claudette's score was as high as it was just by the way that they were kind of talking. But obviously, like that doesn't
Yeah.
whatever, but yeah.
Well, there are certain things on the random. I think that they liked her radicchio better. So that
Yeah.
was like, so it's, yeah, there's so many things that go into it. And Nini wins, which I'm so happy about because
Yeah.
we love Nini. I want to interview her so bad. I like DM'd her after Last Night Hotel, but I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
So it's the last battle now, and it's David Viana, the storyteller, which I think is the worst nickname of
Yeah.
all time. And Guy asks him why, and he tells Guy he tells stories through food and reads to his son. And I was thinking about how Chris Scott, friend of the pod, is always talking about how he like tells stories through food. But for some reason, when Chris Scott says it, it sounds so much less obnoxious than when this guy says it.
Well, I mean, I don't know his cooking as much, but I know Chris Scott like literally like
Yes.
uses historical
Well,
ingredients.
I guess that's the thing is like Chris Scott, when he says it, I like know that there's like backing to it. Where like
Right.
David Viana, it's like anyone can say they tell a story through food,
And all of
Um,
his restaurants are on the Jersey Shore.
I know, but I did make me want to go to one because
I know, let's go.
I like to eat on the Jersey Shore.
I love
Come
to eat on the
on.
Jersey Shore, but I'm just really curious.
Yes. And then it's Tobias, the huncho, right? And this was the one that bummed me out because, okay, so we all know that Tobias is like not a fancy tweezers guy, right? He just makes like good food that tastes good.
Yeah.
But he is like a TOC darling. Everyone loves him. And
Yeah.
also, we all know what happened in his personal life since he
Yep.
shot TOC. So it's like a lot going on right now, right? He's like a TOC favorite. A lot of brackets I saw had him winning it all,
Yeah.
So the randomizer is mussels, fennel, milk frother, seared, and quinoa.
Can I
Uh,
ask you just one question real quick?
yes.
So this kind of came up when John and I were watching. When you enter a situation that is like a competition like this, or like something that's like nerve-wracking,
hmm
what is your first thought? Do you think that you're like, what am I doing here? Like anxious kind of thoughts, or do you think I'm awesome, I'm gonna kill this?
I am definitely imposter syndrome as soon as I get in there. My whole life,
Because
That's definitely,
I same with me, and I had to ask John. I was like, "Wait, other people don't think that
yeah.
way?" And I guess
No,
not.
yeah. I mean, it's like, oh God, like I used to run competitive cross country in high school. Like I
Uh-huh.
was, all stars or whatever. And like every race, I was like miserable before. Like I suck, and like
Yeah.
that's how I feel all the time. But everyone, please rate and review us 5 stars on this podcast to show me and Debbie how great we are in the competition that is food show podcasting. But yeah, I like could not do this kind of competitive cooking, I don't think.
No.
I mean, I'm also not a chef, but just like in general.
Yeah.
So okay, so Tobias says David is not going to prove himself on his dime. And Sarah from the Wayfair Lounge says she's worked with David before. And I'm like dying to know where they've worked together before.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe at like one of these food festivals or something.
Yeah.
And David is doing a mussel toast and he's putting dashi into his quinoa. And okay, so Tobias is doing mussels in a white wine broth and putting pancetta into his quinoa. And it's like, I get it that like Tobias is like going very straightforward with the mussels. He's doing a bowl of mussels. It's like
Yeah.
not very creative TOC, I guess. And he like the quinoa is definitely like an afterthought to him. He's not like, trying to do the quinoa well or whatever. He's just like putting it in there.
Yeah.
Tobias says everybody loves Tobias, which I agree with.
Yep.
And Tiffany tries to make a muscles joke to Tobias, like, oh, you have a lot of experience with muscles, like the cooking thing, and also like your body muscles. And Tobias does not even acknowledge that she made that joke. And she like tries to like double down on it by like making muscles, and he's just like,
Uh,
no,
yeah.
do not objectify my body, Tiffany.
Yeah.
David uses the frother on his coconut milk curry, and Tobias whips butter with the milk frother. And I feel like both those things are like you cannot really tell the milk frother. I mean, what are you gonna do besides make a cappuccino that you could tell the milk frother was
Right.
used?
But I think it is cool that he made butter. Like, I think that that's
Yes.
like legit because you're turning one product into a completely different other.
Well, did he make his own butter, or did he just whip the? I think he just whipped herbs into his butter.
Oh, this is where I fell asleep.
Yeah, no, so whatever. So I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Okay.
So Tiffany reads for Tobias at judging. Marcus said it's good cooking. He wishes there was more syrup pancetta. Nancy says everything is perfect, but it's like not like wowing her for competition. So like
Okay.
everyone's like, this is an amazing plate of food, but it's like not like impressive for TOC basically.
Right.
And Charlie says the mussels are perfectly cooked, but he wishes there was more fennel. So it's like classic Tobias, right? Like
Yeah.
he needs to win on just having like a better flavor.
Yeah.
And then Justin reads for David. Marcus says it's fancy and high end. It's really elegant. Nancy says it's all about the details and that they took a difficult road, excuse me. And Charlie said he would gladly pay the bill for the spectacular meal and fennel should be thinner.
All right.
Um,
Calm down, Charlie.
and David's in his like trailer listening and he says, that's what a storyteller does.
Okay.
What? A storyteller makes a dish for TOC? They did not say there's a great story here. They didn't say.
Right.
I think you mean that's what a chef does.
Right.
It's 85 to 91. So David Viana wins. He has matching high scores with Jet Tila from last week.
Crazy.
I know. So he like really obviously had the better dish.
Yeah.
And like in the qualifiers, David Viana, I was like so unimpressed with him. Um, and it's a bummer to me
Yeah.
that he won because I love Tobias, but
Yeah.
congratulations to you, David Viana. And
I
he's
guess.
against Sarah Bradley next, so she better destroy him.
Oh, she absolutely will. And
I
if
will
if
riot.
she doesn't, it's rigged.
Okay, yeah, and I
You
don't tell
know?
Justin Warner you said that. Um, I will post me and Debbie's brackets on the Instagram, see how we're doing with our brackets. And yeah, I can't wait for the next round of TOC. This is when it gets real, the
Yeah.
first round's
There's
over.
so many like there were matches that I was like, "Oh no," for for this round and then like the next round it's getting even worse as far as like
Yeah. Well,
losing
but a
people
lot of
left.
them to me are more clear cut what I want next round.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some of them that are hard, but a lot of
Yeah.
them it's easier for me next round.
Yeah. As long as Joe Sasto loses, I will
Yeah.
be.
We just got to get rid of Joe Sasto, Adam Sobel,
Yeah.
David Viana. What do
All
these
the
things have in
white.
common? I saw Jet Tila like reposted something where someone said like, it was about TOC. It was just like a fan was like, I really want Jet to win TOC this year. I can't believe I'm rooting for a man. So it's all of us. Everyone feels the same way.
Yep. Yep.
Um, okay, so now if you were here for the Top Chef recap, this is your time. Going straight into Top Chef episode 2, bunch, sorry, not bunch, a bunch of balloons. Brunch a la Balloon.
Uh-huh.
It opens up with 14 chefs remaining. It opens on city shots of Toronto. And there's some chefs doing yoga, including Kat and Lana. Massimo is teaching the yoga. And I love Lana. Are you a
Yeah.
Lana fan?
I am a Lana fan. I'm definitely she's like one of my front runners.
I mean, she is like doing that thing where like right now she's like, she's like in the top, but she's not on the top.
Yeah.
She's like, like hovering around the top and she's like kind of quiet in the back. And I hope that she comes forward because
Yeah.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
They walk into the Top Chef kitchen. Gail and Kristen are there. Gail says she had to be at the quick fire because Sarah Levy is there from Canada.
I do love
Debbie.
Sarah. I mean, I love
Okay, so
Schitt's
it's
Creek.
so, okay, so you're a Schitt's Creek fan?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Are you?
I I have that whole thing where like I watch it late
Uh-huh.
and like I didn't like it, but it did grow on me. But I don't
Yeah.
love it as much. It's not like my favorite show of all time, like a
Okay.
lot of people.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not my favorite, but I still loved it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
But I guess like I get a little bit like, oh, people love it so much, but
Yeah.
whatever. But
I mean, it's not like it's I don't know,
The
like
Office,
yeah.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna say Ted Lasso because like I feel like the limited series, like The
yes,
Office, like well, anyway.
yeah.
We-
So sitcoms, but
yeah,
yeah, I guess like Schitt's Creek means a lot to Canada because all the Canadians.
right.
And Zubair says his wife will freak out, and Gail says Schitt's Creek is very important to Canadians. And Kristen says it's time to get a little messy. So the quick fire, everyone guesses right away. It's poutine.
Yeah,
I love poutine,
I love poutine.
and you
Ugh,
know what else I love?
what?
Disco fries.
Yes. Did you
Mm,
ever go? Oh my God, what is the name? There was like a vegan fast food place in Williamsburg in like 2006 to
Oh
2009.
yes, I remember, but I don't remember the name right now. It's
They
not
had,
Champs. That was the diner.
yeah, but it's, yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And they had amazing disco fries.
So disco fries, for anyone who doesn't know, are like the New Jersey diner slash New York answer to poutine. It's
Yeah.
basically poutine, but with like New Jersey ingredients instead.
Yeah.
Uh, and the challenge is put their own spin on poutine. It must include a starchy vegetable, sauce and cheese, and the winner gets 5K. Shuey is doing fondant potatoes. And Massimo, who's Canadian, says it's not possible to make anything better than the original. And we do see that the people that do well stuck more closely to the original flavors.
Yeah.
The people that went like wild didn't get on the top.
Right.
Uh, Bailey is doing Asian slash Italian slash Korean poutine. And I like feel like I said this last time that like Bailey, I feel like I don't like her because she's like probably the most like me on the show, but I find her very grating.
I mean, this is the thing. I find her grating and I did not, you know, but at the same time, like I love the way that Korean food now embraces cheese. And I thought that was like a smart kind
I,
of way to think about it.
I agree with that. And if she just said I'm doing like a Korean take on poutine, it would be fine. But it's just the way she says, like, I mean, I'm just doing semantics, but it's just that
Yeah.
thing when a chef does like, I'm gonna do Asian flavors. It's like
Right.
if you're gonna make Korean poutine, fine. But she's like, I'm gonna do an Asian slash Italian poutine. Just say Korean. It's like
Right.
it's like Korean food is very different than Thai food or something. It's like
Yeah.
just anyway. So that was my issue. Uh Massimo says his name means maximum in Italian, so that's why he's always going so hard. And there's a big line of the fryer, everyone jockeying for position.
Of course.
And Vinny says that his poutine is Sunday gravy, which it's like, okay, chill out.
All right, Long Island,
I know.
Vincenzo.
I know. I don't dislike him, but it is like, it's like, I gotta do the Sunday gravy. That's not
Yeah.
what they're talking about right now.
I mean, the funny thing is like, like last episode, I was like, oh, he's warming on me. And now he's like back down again.
Totally. Okay, so I'll just go through really quickly what everyone did for the judging. Corwin did a twice cooked potato with cotija cheese. Kat did a crispy potato with mushroom gravy and cheese curds. They like hers a lot. Shuey does a soy sauce fondant potato with cheese curds, and
I
they're
love
impressed.
that.
Yeah, it looks amazing,
Mhm.
and they're impressed. And he says he practiced at home because he knew there would be a poutine challenge.
Of course there would
Yes,
be.
so very smart. So that's why he did
Yeah.
it so well.
Yeah.
Katiana does a tostone style potato, fermented soybean and mushroom cream and burrata. Lana does sweet potato fries with gumbo gravy. Paola does plantains, cotija, and secco. Massimo does potato roulade with sauce mornay and beef reduction. That also sounded very good to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a mornay sauce. Come on.
Yeah.
And Vinny does potato and tomato in gravy.
All right.
Tristan does a play on slashy papas, which I will always love.
Yes.
Henry does scallion yuca pancake with some other stuff. And Zubair does poutine chaat with crispy mushroom. Anya does poutine a la stroganoff. And Bailey does Korean shrimp arrabbiata poutine. Sorry, Bailey. I'm sorry. I feel like I
Yeah.
said, I think I see myself in her, and that's why I'm so mad. And Gail says everything was good. The bottom is Henry because this pancake was spongy. Bailey had too many elements, and Paola, the sauce was too wet. At the top, it's Massimo. He had great flavors and it was beautiful. Cat, it was traditional but had a great mushroom sauce. And Shuai had the perfect fondant potato, and Shuai wins. So yay!
Yay.
Was he the one you said was from Queens?
No, I think Oh wait,
Oh,
actually, I don't wait. I don't remember. I'll look it up.
okay. I couldn't remember. And
Yeah.
sorry if I'm being racist to the two Asian men, assuming they're from Queens. The queen, the world's borough, as they say.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so while Debbie's looking it up, next is the elimination challenge, and Kristen says there's someone who needs no introduction, and it is Danielle Blued.
Yeah, Shuai
Um,
is Queens.
okay, great.
Yeah.
So I was right the first time. Phew. But now he lives somewhere else. He does not. He
Yeah,
lives
he's
in
like
like
in the South somewhere.
yeah, because I was looking him up. I was like, oh, can I go to his restaurant in Queens? I cannot.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's Danielle Ballud. Danielle Ballud, I love him. I gotta say, he's somebody I love to see on TV.
Yeah.
Kristen asks what ingredient comes to mind in Canada. Everyone says maple syrup. And they explain Sugar Shacks is where they make maple syrup, but also there's brunch there apparently, which does sound very fun.
Yeah. And actually, so M Wells is M Wells in Queens or was in Queens used to do Sugar Shack style breakfasts and
Hmm.
they no longer exist in their location anymore, but they're resurrecting it at New York Distillery in Brooklyn.
Oh,
So we should go.
awesome. Let's
Yeah.
go. I would love to. That sounds great. So they have to do in teams a 7 course brunch, and each dish must have maple in it. So the brown team is Lana, Shuey, Caesar, Zubair, Tristan, Paola, and Corwin. And the green team is Kat, Katiana, Henry, Anya, Massimo, Vinny, and Bailey. And like they're planning their menus, and Vinny asks who wants to be the scribe on the team. Vinny is such a weird guy to me. I love him, and also I think he's so weird.
I feel like he is so I just because we grew I feel like we grew up with these kind of
Yes.
people. These kind of people. Long Island Italians.
Yes. But also he's like trying to be carmy, right? So he's
Right.
like, yeah. So he's like this like he's a fancy Long Island Italian. He's
Right.
like, who's gonna be the scribe? Just say who's gonna take notes, Vinny. Um and Vinny offers to be the one who makes a souffle since Danielle Ballud wants one.
Which
Um,
I rolled my eyes so hard they almost fell out of my head.
but also I appreciate the gameplay, I have to say. If you really think you can do it, I think it makes sense.
But also the gall of him, especially after the last episode, thinking he can pull off all these things every single time when it's a team challenge, I think is really kind of fucked
I
up.
I get it, but also he is if oh because never mind, he had immunity, so that's the
Yeah.
problem. Because I was
Yeah.
gonna say I was like oh but like it's his dish, so if he goes home, but yeah he had immunity, so maybe that's true.
Yeah.
But it's a non-issue, so
Yeah.
chill out, Debbie. So they go shopping. Anya, okay, so I love Anya because she's like 10 years older than everybody probably. Like
Yeah.
she's like, like the older person. And she talks about going out in Moscow because you had to like get your own maple she would like go tap the trees and get her own maple syrup in
Yeah.
Moscow. Crazy world. Thanks a
So do
lot, Putin.
you think she's 10 years older or do you think she just like went through it in Russia?
I think she's 10 years old because I feel like if she was younger than that, it would have been like post this time where it's like
That's true.
everybody
That's
gets
true.
20 rubles for the month or whatever.
Yeah.
So I do think she's older. Um, but as you know, we're all 30 or 40 or
Right, or whatever.
who knows? And Zubair says he became a chef after the 2008 financial crisis. He lost his job and he became a chef. So relatable.
Yeah.
Who amongst us has not lost a job during one of the various financial
2008.
crises?
I mean, for real.
Hunter Fieri, please hire me again. I'll move to Flavor Town. Okay, Kristen
Wait,
approaches them. What?
is it Zubair?
Oh, is it Zubair, not
Yeah.
Zubair?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think it's
sorry.
Bear. Sorry.
Um, Kristen approaches them in the garage of Whole Foods, and they know they're fucked. And she does a Wells Fargo promo, which was so, the way that they did this was so obnoxious.
It was
Uh,
so over the top.
um, the
What?
yeah, just like the sorry, can you hear me and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, sorry. So yeah, like it was just like so like she's not good yet at like slipping in the script in an organic way. And it was
Yeah.
so she's like, everyone who uses a Wells Fargo card gets 2% cash back. So that means you get 2% back on it was really crazy.
I mean, it was written poorly too.
It was
I'll
yeah,
give Kristen a little credit for that.
I know, but I just think that like it was too ambitious for this point or something, or like
Yes.
whatever. Like
Yeah.
and Kristen probably doesn't feel confident enough yet to be like, take this back to the writing room or
Yeah.
whatever. And so they each get $50 and they have to buy ingredients for the other team that has to incorporate the ingredients. And the winning team is going to get $35,000. So $5,000
Amazing.
each. Yeah. Um, so green team buys the brown team pizza and candy they have to incorporate. So it has like a little chopped element now,
Yeah.
oh, put this stuff in there. And the brown team buys cooked lasagna and truffle oil. And I did think the truffle oil was a good idea, but Vinny
Yeah.
didn't seem to mind because like on Chopped, if you use truffle oil, you get immediately chopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, why do you even have that in the kitchen? Because it's like an immediate disqualification almost for using
Right.
it.
It's a
But
trap.
yeah, but I mean, apparently Vinny used it artfully.
Yeah.
Massimo thickens his sauce with the lasagna and he lets Anya taste it. And she says, wow, the lasagna really helps. Which, cool. I mean,
Yeah.
these chefs seem like they're good at cooking. And Bailey's filling for her tarts breaks and she has to restart. And she's getting the loser edit at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
The judges walk in. Everyone looks great as usual, but it's a small crowd. It's just the judges and then Danielle Boulud and Twyla, just those
Uh-huh.
people. Not Twyla. Sarah Levy.
Sarah.
Sorry. Oops, I really just wrote that just like I thought that was the name when I was typing out. And Tom says he hates brunch because he's a curmudgeon. I mean, I get it, but I feel like that's like a stale take.
Yes. I mean, brunch food is delicious. I understand like brunch as like when you're working at a restaurant is a pain in the ass, but like it's not that I mean, granted, I only worked at diners, so it never felt like that terrible of a time period of work. But
Yeah.
from what I hear, brunch shifts are always really hard. But
And I also like as like a customer like kind of like get like the I hate brunch thing because like
yeah,
it's usually expensive and the line is long. But
that's
like
true.
if I didn't have to deal with the expense and the long line, I love the food for sure.
Right.
So like I
I
would
think
love
it's
to eat
just
it.
the places that have like unlimited mimosas or whatever bullshit, you know?
Yeah, it's just like when we were like in that stage of our life where we're going to like hangover brunch, like we'd always be going in the cool areas or whatever,
Yeah.
and that was like a whole thing. Okay, so the brown team serves. Lana does maple cured salmon with maple vinaigrette. Shuai does toad in the hole with miso, maple butter, and pizza. Caesar does a poached lobster with maple hollandaise and biscuit, and Tom does
Awesome.
not like the biscuit. I mean, it sounds great, but the
Yeah.
biscuit was overworked apparently.
Yeah.
Zubair does tandoori fried chicken with maple butter, which is like a specialty of his, and
Yeah.
they all freak out about it.
Yeah. I
Sounds
need to
great.
try that. We need to try that.
Yes. And then Corwin doesn't finish his shawarmusi and Daniel Boulud has the plastic still on his.
Of
Worst case
course.
scenario. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course
The,
the PA
the per
gave that. Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Make sure this one goes to Danielle. But like, like shawarmushi is hard to do and he didn't pull it off.
I will
Uh,
say though, the description of the dish sounded awesome.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
I remember on Last Bite Hotel, Nini, our favorite martini Nini, did like a shawarmushi that was like very well received. And I
Yeah.
think it can be awesome. It's just it's hard to do, hard to
Yeah.
pull off in that situation.
Yeah.
Tristan did steak and eggs with rice grits, and he puts candy in the sauce. And Paula does a candy creme anglaise with French toast, and she put all the candies in there, and they love it. They say it works
Yeah.
out great. So they love Tristan's. Daniel likes Palas. Sarah doesn't like the texture of the shawamushi. And Danielle says the execution of that was rough. So
Yeah.
that's where we land for that team.
Yeah.
And next is the green team. Kat does congee with chili crisp and maple bacon. I thought you would love that,
Oh
Debbie.
yeah, totally.
You would order that right away.
Absolutely.
Katiana does salmon tartare cured in maple with daikon and maple leaves, which sounds great to
And it
me.
looked really cute.
Yes. Tom loves Kat's congee, but Katiana's was too subtle with the maple. And Tom was so funny in this episode because I know it's a maple challenge, but he kept being like, there was not enough maple. And it's like, chill out. How much maple can one man handle, Tom?
For real.
I know it's just the rules or whatever, but you know. Anya does a sirniki with macerated strawberries, whipped maple syrup, and Siberian pine cone, which sounded
It
crazy.
sounded crazy, and I looked up like I I want to go to I'm assuming it'll be I can find it in Greenpoint, right? Like
Uh,
Greenpoint or
I mean, do they have Russian
Coney
food in
Island.
Greenbelt? Yeah, probably. I bet you have to go to what's it called? Brighton Beach.
Yeah. But I would love to try that ingredient.
Yes, I would. Yeah, a Siberian pine cone. Like I
Yeah.
can't. Like they were talking about it, and like they were saying that it had like this crazy taste, but I can't even like imagine what it would taste like.
There was one time, oh my God, of course I'm forgetting his name. What's the really tall uh master sh or Top Chef Masters? He always wears he's like the pop punk one. He always like wears white glasses.
I do
Um
not know.
God, I'm forgetting his name. I'm sh tell us
Brian Valtaggio.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean him too. He's more the emo
Yeah,
Midwest emo guy.
I
But
can't think of who you're talking about.
he so I'll think of the name in a sec, but I went to his restaurant once and had a drink there that it was called like the campfire and it tasted like being in
Oh,
with a campfire.
I remember you told me about that before,
It was
which
amazing.
so yeah, oh my God, now I'm like, okay, never mind. We'll figure it out someday.
Yeah.
Okay, so Henry does fried chicken with polenta and maple chili glaze, and he had all these issues because the oil was like dirty from Zubair's.
It was
Uh,
really hot. Like when he put it in, it was very
yeah, like it was a problem with sharing the oil. You
Graham
figured it.
Elliott.
Graham Elliott.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, who
Yeah.
used to be on Top Chef also.
Yeah.
He was a Top Chef judge for a while. Okay.
Yeah.
I would not ever describe him as the pop punk one.
I look at the white glasses and I think pop punk.
I understand the glasses, but I never, that's not where I was thinking at all. He's also on Master Chef Junior also.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does all kinds of stuff. So they like Anya's a lot. Gail did not get enough of Henry's gravy, and the crust on the chicken was not good. Um, and when the souffle comes out, Danielle Ballou says that Vinny brown nosed, which
It was very funny to hear it come from him.
I know. And also like in like the Schitt's Creek thing, like you could really imagine that being like a joke on Schitt's Creek in
Right.
some way, you know, it would really have worked out well. Massimo does a steak and eggs with bordelaise and wild spinach. Vinny does his cheddar maple souffle with truffle oil.
That does sound
Bailey,
great.
yeah, I mean, I love a souffle. Bailey has a maple tart with whipped yogurt and flambéed pineapple, which sounds great. I bet it's great when it works out well, but it didn't work out. Um,
Why would you put honey in it?
I know, like it doesn't make any sense. And then she was like, for the viscosity, and Tom's like, use an extra egg yolk. Tom acted like she was like, I love it when Tom says these things with so much confidence, and like he doesn't know if it's gonna work. He wasn't
Right.
making it, you know, like he
Right.
always says stuff like that where he like knows exactly what's going on. Um, and everyone liked the brown team better except for Corwin's Shamushi, but the brown team did better overall. And the brown team wins the $35,000, $5,000 a piece. Even Corwin with his plastic shawamushi, it's 5,000. So you know, the winner and the winning chef is Zubair with his famous fried chicken. He gets immunity in the next elimination challenge. Um, and I love that. Like he like made something like important to him, and he won. You know.
Yeah.
And what's better than a really great fried chicken?
Oh
It's
my God.
just
I know.
So the green team loses, and Henry and Bailey are on the bottom. And really did not want Henry to go home because I
No.
feel like he's like exciting to watch.
Yeah.
And Henry's oil was totally fucked.
Yeah.
And Bailey's tarts didn't have enough maple and the dough was raw. Bailey has to pack her knives and go. And I did want Bailey to go, but also that's 2 women in 2 weeks, which is like a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
So
Did
we
you
gotta,
watch
I
Last Chance
did.
Kitchen? Okay.
Oh, but first, before that, next
Yeah.
week is a Jamaican patty challenge,
Which I'm
which
like, Canadian?
I'm sure they're going to explain. They're going to say, like, a certain amount of Jamaican immigrants come to Canada each year or
Yeah.
something. But it was like, I can't wait to. And then there's also going to be a hockey challenge, which
Yeah. Which
I,
obviously.
yeah, Jamaican patties and hockey, the most Canadian things you can think of. So yeah, so I did watch Last Chance Kitchen. Did you watch it?
I did. Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, we don't have to go through the whole thing. I just feel like I
Yeah.
can't recap Last Chance Kitchen, but
No.
uh Mimi is going home, which I was
Yeah.
not shocked at because I did not think she did well ever. Sorry,
No.
Mimi.
And it's just so funny because wait, hold on one second. Sorry, Matt was trying to eat John's wallet. Okay.
Classic dog behavior.
Classic dog behavior. Um, so yeah, I'm glad she went home. I think she was definitely the weakest link all across the board.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did like seeing the pea meal bacon. I did not know it was called that.
Yeah, did not
When
know.
they were saying it at first, I thought they were saying pineal bacon, like the peony. I was like, that's weird. But then they had it written out and it was pea meal bacon. But I love a Canadian bacon. I
Me
would have
too.
liked to try. I did think Sam, I think, is obnoxious.
Yeah.
He I understand that he's like the type of person they like on Top Chef, right? Like
Yeah, he's very snooty.
he's snooty and he's got like that very pretty face. And
Yeah.
they love a snooty guy with a pretty face on Top
Yeah.
Chef. But I do think that Bailey I liked Bailey better in this challenge than
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
So maybe Bailey will win me back. We'll see about that.
But I also like I really don't like this top Last Chance Kitchen bringing
Me
random
neither.
people in.
I mean, it was like Sue was fine, right? We did
Yeah.
it. It was so obvious they were trying to bring Sue in. If Sam makes it in, I'm gonna be pissed because it's like, why did like you have to like why don't you just start off with this other person in there if you're like determined to bring them in?
Right.
That's
Like
how I feel about it.
Sue, it's almost like the producers brought stupid hat guy last season in because they knew they were getting rid of him and to bring
Yes.
in Sue. And I are they doing that with Mimi because she's a stupid hat woman and she,
Oh my God. So Carly Levitz, our data queen, DM me and she was like, I'm gonna look into it and see if there really is a curse of the stupid hat. And she was like, who else wore stupid hats besides Mimi and the guy last season? And then she was like, oh my God, Justin Sutherland would wear a stupid hat. And like he did well, but that he is now majorly cursed. What a
Yeah.
majorly cursed man. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can Google it. It's
We don't want to talk
upsetting.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's upsetting. So just to beware. But yeah, so our data queen said she'll look into it, see if there truly is the curse of the stupid effing hat.
Yeah, don't wear a stupid fucking hat, please.
I like a hat a little bit. Okay, so I watched Wicked today,
Uh-huh.
Behind the Times, and there's a big thing with a hat in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, you get the
I've
Elphaba.
never seen it, but
Oh, I mean, so the good witch, the Ariana Grande gives, Elphaba, the green witch, gives her the witch hat as like a prank. She's like, "Oh, like this would be so cute on you," and then everyone laughs at her because it's like a silly hat.
ugh.
But then it becomes her signature hat.
Yeah.
So she turns it into a good thing. Actually, the movie I saw like a Bowen Yang quote, and
Uh-huh.
I'm like not into popular, mainstream movie musicals. No
Yeah.
offense to our theater kid friends.
Except for
But
Newsies.
yeah,
That's
I
probably
mean,
my only one that I'm
I like Sweeney Todd, I like Into the Wood. Okay,
Yeah.
I like the snobby ones, but like
Yeah.
I didn't want to see Wicked. I was like kind of a hater,
Yeah.
but I thought it was good, and I was really shocked how much it's about fascism. I didn't know that.
Oh.
It's totally about fascism, and Elphaba is like the not like she's like the resistance hero. And
Amazing.
sorry for stop if you don't want spoilers for Wicked,
For
but
a
like
movie that's been out for months
I know, but I didn't
and
know
a
this. So
play that's been out for years.
I saw all these like all these like armchair scholars on like Twitter and Instagram and everything like talking about Wicked when it came out, and I was like, this movie sounds so annoying. But people were like, it almost seems like Elphaba is not the bad guy, and like I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, isn't that what it's about? Like I was like.
Yeah.
But now I just realize people are so stupid because like she's so sorry if you're stupid and you're listening to this and you're offended. But it's like it's literally an allegory about standing up to power. And the
Yeah.
only reason that she's seen as wicked is because she stands up to the wizard and he like banishes her. And it's like, oh yeah, did you see how she's green? It's because she's evil. And it has nothing to do with anything about her. It's just that she wasn't gonna like fall in line with this fascist agenda.
Oh my
Anyway.
gosh.
Yeah.
What side of the fascist agenda is Bowen on, though?
Oh, he's Ariana Grande's little like bitch. So,
Oh,
but no, but Ariana Grande is Ariana Grande eventually sides with comfort of the empire
okay.
rather than her friend, but she is torn in the movie because
Uh-huh.
she does first she sorry everyone, this is now a wicked recap. No, but
Gently curious.
Ariana Grande is like first she's like the popular girl who's mean to Elphaba, and then they become best friends and they have all this like lesbian sexual energy between them.
Yeah.
And then and then Galinda chooses comfort over supporting her friend.
I
So
mean,
yeah.
they definitely like finger banged in that dorm room, right?
Oh,
Like,
I
isn't
mean,
that
it was the most sexual movie I've ever seen, and I didn't even know that about it. I was like, this is like the first scene of a lesbian porn, 100%.
yeah.
Um,
And also the I do want to see it because John Chu is like one of my favorite directors of all time.
I mean, it was a lot better. I mean, I just think that like I had like annoying associations with it, but like as a movie, it was a lot better than I expected.
Cool.
It was like a lot more like silly, edgy comedy and a lot less like Harry Potter than I
Yeah.
thought,
Okay, good. All right,
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Ariana Grande made me laugh a lot, and you told me that she's good on Saturday Night Live. I didn't even know that about her.
She is funny.
She
She's
was
like, yeah.
much funnier than I thought that she was gonna be like fine at the singing and like not good at the acting. She was like did like extreme physical comedy. She was so
Yeah.
funny.
Well, she's, part of that Disney
Yes.
churning out, but also, famously the I Hate the USA and licked some donuts queen, which I love her so much for.
Okay, so we went really long. So because now we had to do a 10-minute recap of Wicked. But Debbie, can you tell me what you had for dinner tonight?
I made cornflake chicken and some zucchini, and John made cornbread, but the corn we had cornflake. Charlie really likes cornflakes like as a general cereal, which is I think is very funny. Like he like will pick cornflakes instead of like Apple Jacks or something
Uh-huh.
at the grocery store sometimes. So I was like, oh, this is a recipe for Charlie. I'm gonna make this for Charlie. And I made it, and he was like, I don't want to try it. Like he like took all the toppings off, and then finally he ate some of the topping. He's like, what? I love this.
I love cornflake chicken.
Yeah,
It's like a classic mom recipe, but it's
yeah.
great.
It's so easy, and also like it's delicious, and it is a Charlie recipe, and now he knows it's a Charlie recipe.
Okay, good. I'm glad that
Yeah,
he gave it and ate it.
yeah.
I made a Filipino rice with chorizo and shrimp today.
Ooh, that sounds
Um,
awesome.
it was just like a recipe on my on my spreadsheet, and I finally made it, and it was
Can you
pretty
put it on
easy.
the show notes? Because I really want to try that.
Yes. It was like a Food Network recipe. It was easy. It involves like making your own sofrito and like cooking the rice in the sofrito. And like so like whenever I eat like Spanish rice of any sort, I'm like, how do they make the rice so flavorful? Like
Yeah.
just the rice itself is so flavored, and I'm like not good at that. And this one, yeah, you like cook it in the sofrito and like the chorizo juice and the rice
Mm,
itself was super flavorful. So
that sounds
thank
so good. I love Filipino food too.
yeah, it was I did not use there was some ingredient. Oh yeah, I didn't they wanted me to use saffron, and sorry, I don't have a saffron budget right now,
Yeah.
so I did. So that would have been even more flavorful if I used the saffron.
Sure.
But yeah, I was like, what ingredient didn't I use? Oh yeah, the one that costs $100 an ounce.
This economy?
I know. Anyway, so everyone, thank you so much for listening to our recap. Please rate, review, and subscribe. You can buy us a coffee on buymeacoffee.com because famously me and Debbie need $10,000. We don't really need
Get
$10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah, we gotta get $10,000 right now. That's a callback to earlier in the episode if you don't remember.
If you're still with us.
Yes. And yeah, like a 5-star review would really mean a lot to us.
We got our first hate mail.
Oh yeah, we
But
got
the
our
person, I'm really interested because the person, I don't know if it's a listener because they sent it to the general. They posted on Instagram instead of sending to me directly.
Yeah, well, I don't think so. I think that what happened was they listened to the beginning of the Top Chef recap where we mentioned certain of Gail Simmons' beliefs,
Yeah.
and I think they probably didn't get to the part of the end where we say to send you hate mail. So they said that they love Gail Simmons' beliefs that children should be murdered. They love
And that
about her.
we're bad Jews.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They said that we're self-hating Jews.
Yeah.
I always think that's so funny.
Yeah.
At least she didn't say we're anti-Semitic, just helps self-hating.
You're right.
But yeah, so send us hate mail to Debbie only, as we
Yes.
said.
Listen.
Yes, and yeah, if you're listening, please just send us a DM. We just love to hear from you.
Yeah.
And I think that's it for now. So,
Yeah.
Debbie, I was thinking, do you think that we should change our sign off because lots of people have the sign off time to pack our knives and go.
Yeah. Let's do it. What
You
should we
want,
say?
you know what I thought would be really funny to do because of TOC is we could say it's time to go for the protein.
Okay, it's time to go for the protein.
Protein. We can workshop that later. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Oh yeah, let Leif know we're only doing one episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.